Evening, and welcome everyone to episode 44 of the Die Laugh Love podcast. Why is it called the Die Laugh Love podcast? We're all going to die, and we should do our best to laugh and love before we get there. That is the one common denominator that we all have. Now, as I jump into this evening's episode, I want to remind everybody that this is an online spirit gallery, and I do want to tell you a little bit of a story of something that happened to me about a week or so ago. I sat with a woman in a one-on-one session. She had come to our store in Littleton, sitting across from the table, and she was telling me how she had been part of one of these podcast episodes. And this was, I don't know, maybe, I think it was last summer. It would have had to have been last summer because of what had transpired. As I started to channel spirit, I wanted to talk to the woman who was holding the marigolds. And that's a weird thing because we're all on Zoom, right? Why would there be anybody here holding marigolds? She was the one that was holding marigolds. She was out in her garden doing a little bit of gardening, had her phone while this was going on, propped up, and she was listening to it. And when I asked for the person that was holding marigolds, she literally had gloves on and marigolds in her hands. And she was so scared of what happened, she just shut off the reading and jumped out. So, what that means is this. I've done this enough where people will come to my live events, come to the podcast, I'll get connected to one of their spirits, and then they just shut up because they don't want to take it from somebody else. They don't want to like ruin a connection. They don't want to talk in front of a group of people. There are so many different reasons why people will shut up in those particular circumstances. I'm going to ask you to not do that to me. Okay, I'm going to ask you to not do that to me. If you feel like the person that I'm getting connected to is yours, I want you to raise your hand and work with Brandy, who's my co-host here. She's going to take you off mute, put you on spotlight, work with me, and do all that. She's my helper while I do this. But if you do feel like you're being connected, there's a message for you and a message for the group and a message for anybody that might come to this after. Now, with that being said, it is an online spirit gallery. Before we jump in, I would have Brandy bring me up on spotlight because I want to do a little show and tell here for folks. Brandy might not be able to do that because she's not the host yet. So there we are, making her the host. She's going to bring me up on spotlight, and then I want to show you guys what I have here. Thank you, Brandy. All right. So last year I published this book, The Secret to Life Ain't So Secret, Down to Earth Spirituality, #1. I'm glad to have in my hands #2. Now, here's where the show and tell comes into play. Same size, but not the same size. As you can see here, book 1 is about that thick. Book 2 is clocking in over 300 pages. There's a lot of information in this. And if you want to increase your connection to spirit, grab a copy if you haven't already. Tomorrow, here at Deep Earth Arts, I'm hosting a release party, and I want to show everybody here the goodies I have. If you come in and grab a copy tomorrow, you're getting bookmarks. People love the artwork on the cover, so I made these stickers that folks are going to get. And for the first time ever, I have just a blank journal with the artwork. So this is going to be $15. There's a lot of writing that's encouraged in this book, a lot of journaling, a lot of exercises. These two go hand in hand. Look at that. So I'm hoping that folks will see me tomorrow or hop on the website because there's a lot of good stuff in that book, especially around being careful of sort of the spiritual industry, if you will, and some of the predators and malicious folks that you'll find in this work. All right. Well, that's it. Please come tomorrow to Littleton. If not, I want to thank everybody who has purchased a copy. I am already excited about my next project, which I have to slow myself down because I have a tendency to burn myself out. I do want to let you know that, and this has to do with tonight's reading, there was a little boy way back in the 80s who fell in love with Stephen King, and all he wanted to do was write books and tell stories and get weird. And that's me. I'm the little boy. And I want to let you know that I have somehow won the lottery, and not only do I get to do the thing that I dreamed about when I was a little kid, I get to do it with all of you. We get to be strange. We get to be unusual together. So tonight is a little bit of an Adams family reunion with you and I would have Brandy take me off spotlight because I want to start the spirit stuff here, and I want to channel the first person that's coming through tonight. He's already laughing at me because he's knowing how difficult that this is going to be for me. So um, I'm going to start describing the person. I want you to either chat to Brandy to ask her to take you off mute. I want you to wave to Brandy in case it's you so she can take you off mute. And then what she's going to do is when we get connected, um, she's going to put us up on spotlight so we can talk together. We can share the reading. All right. So a few days ago, when I started to think about this episode, I had somebody just pop into my head, and he's been with me ever since. Um, the big problem with what I do here, when I talk to humans, humans have this thing when they do this thing where they get psychic amnesia, where I'll talk about something, nobody will get it. I'll get an email or a message later saying, "Oh, I remember the thing." Um, we have a very weird thing here today. So I want you guys to reach into your past, reach into your memories, think about the people that you have lost. And I want you to think about a man who once wore a banana. Now, I know this is weird. This is strange. So I'm seeing what looks like a banana. Like he either wore a banana costume or he was a clown and he made fun with bananas. There's something about a banana costume or wearing a banana, and it's funny. It might be funny because it's a little bit inappropriate, but what he's talking to me about is outside of this costume, outside of the thing he wore, in real life, he was like a numbers cruncher. He might have been a math teacher. What he's showing me is that he's very, like, you wouldn't think that this guy would be a clown or would be silly or would run pranks or be inappropriate. He kind of looked like an accountant, but there was a different side to him, like Dr. Jekyll, um, Mr. Hyde. You know, you get the playful side, the clowny side, and then you have the real straight laced side. This person's coming through because he's talking to me about sending you messages, and I think you're just getting random thoughts, but he wants to talk to you about messages. Okay. So I want to start here with anybody who's got somebody here that's funny with a banana. We start there. If you need help getting off of mute, wave your hand and one of us can take you off of mute. Um, this really feels like a math teacher, guys. Like a math teacher. There's a math teacher, a numbers cruncher here. He would have been in your family. He's one of your guides in spirit. He's looking out over you. He's sending you messages. You think you're just receiving thoughts. I want to tell you about the messages and what he's pointing you in the direction towards. So, Alicia, you got a math teacher in your family who's got a funny thing with wearing bananas?
I've got a guy who has regularly worn a banana suit is a funny thing, but he's not dead, so I don't think it's him. But I just thought that was kind of odd. It's like, anyway, so I'm just throwing it out there. I have no.
What's a banana suit?
It's
Tell me. Is it
literally
like a yellow suit or
it's
is it like
literally
a
a giant
suit?
yellow banana. When he was stationed in Kandahar in Afghanistan, him and his best friend got these funny costumes. He got a giant banana, and his best friend got a cow because he's from Wisconsin. And so the two of them wore those when they went to Robin Williams' USO show, and they just kind of kept wearing them randomly because it kind of like got up. They kind of lifted the morale for all the troops that were over there. So, but it's the only
Okay,
person I
I
know
love
with
that.
a direct banana suit reference. So,
Right. No, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I don't think it's you because he's alive. This is like a math teacher, numbers cruncher, accountant, somebody who's kind of a fuddy-duddy who wore a banana. And this is the issue. I don't know if it was an actual like he was dressed like a banana. He keeps talking to me about like being like a clown. It almost is like this guy has this alter ego. I don't know what the banana thing is. So Alicia, stick with me here because you're the one person who's got a banana suit wearer. Um, this guy's telling me though, like he got old. He was like the energy of like a male principal, just wearing a tie, got glasses, kind of straight laced. You'd never think that they were a little wild or crazy. That's what this person was. I'm looking for somebody here who keeps getting this message about starting a business. This is it. Like, you keep getting this message about starting a business. And this person is coming through asking you and pushing you. You don't understand how the spirit communication works. Tell me something, you guys. And I want we're all adults here, so I want to try to be as appropriate as I can. The guy is literally like dangling a banana between his legs. Like, he's showing this is a funny thing. Like if somebody was walking around with a cucumber or a banana and they would be inappropriate and kind of like looking at that, there is somebody here doing something silly. This is why I brought it up, because either you're not getting it or you're not speaking up. Um, okay. I'm going to just keep channeling him, and I'm going to keep talking to him, and I'm going to keep talking to you. There's a chance. No, it's somebody that's here. Like, somebody was supposed to be here tonight. I've got this guy on the phone. He's talking to you. He wants you to start your own business. He's talking about this might be somebody's grandfather, because now he's talking about your mother. Like, your mother was your mother was in pain. You were powerless to do anything about it. I was watching you feel powerless. I was doing what I could from the other side. So this is somebody who's helped their mother pass. This is somebody who's like, this is like somebody who passed, like dad or grandpa, who passed prior to mom, who was watching you take care of mom. I think there was morphine involved. Like, I think mom was like on morphine, or you were giving her morphine. This person, is still laughing about the banana. Um, so let's strip it down to its basics, because people can get caught up with like, oh, he's wearing a banana suit, where he could just have done something funny with a banana. Whoever you are, you have anxiety. You grind your teeth. He's giving me the sign of anxiety. This guy is a clown. He's coming through as a clown, because part of this message is you're doing something with your everyday life that's driving you crazy. He's watching you suffer. He's also trying to get you to do your own thing, push you into doing your own thing so you can at least enjoy your life a little bit. He's Brandy, help me out. Anybody chatting to you? Anybody talking to you about this? Nobody is able to speak to this at all. This is kind of wild. I'm here with a banana guy, math teacher, accountant. Um, Silly guy. Um, and I think one of the things that you might want to do for work, like if you were to do your own business, he's giving me the smell of food. So I think somebody might be thinking about doing something with food. I don't know if it's like a food truck or opening up a little restaurant or something like that. But he's talking to me very specifically about that. I believe that you're somebody who has a case of neuropathy, where places on your body go cold or numb. He's talking about how scalp stimulation would help you. Um, this guy did wear like a tie, I think, at work. Again, if he wasn't a math teacher, he was somebody who worked with numbers. He was a numbers person. I think there might be a picture of him with this banana or wearing a banana. This guy was a professional, it feels like, in the 1970s. So this is somebody who's been in spirit a while. He's asking me to look at your bracelet on something with your wrist. Something's going on your wrist. Um, Nobody here has a funny memory about bananas. Okay. So, Alicia, being that you are the one person who has a funny story about a man in a banana suit, take yourself off mute for me.
Yeah, no, my ex-husband used to wear this banana suit even until like after he came back and from deployment and was retired from the army, and I think all his grandfathers are still alive and well, and yeah, I don't know, I can't think of anybody who's I'm definitely not somebody who cooks, so there's that part. So
No,
I
no,
don't
no. So, Alicia, hear me out on this. So, this was your ex-husband, you said?
Yeah, my ex-husband, yep, Araya's dad. Yep. So
Okay. There's nobody in that side of the family that sounds like this, like a pencil
yeah.
pusher, numbers guy,
Not,
principal, math
yeah,
teacher.
no, not male, not the profession, not the time reference. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm. But I promise I will tell you if something pops in my head.
Well, no, I appreciate you because I feel like there's always the chance that somebody was supposed to be here, thought they were going to be here, that didn't, and maybe they're going to watch this after.
Mm.
That's not happened to me before, so there's something about oh, this is where I get frustrated because I feel like somebody is here going, this is my person, but they're not speaking up, and I don't know why people would do that. That's a personal frustration for me. Okay.
Josh, Calf,
Yeah.
uh, there is a message that from Calf EG is the username. My dad wasn't a teacher, but an air traffic controller. Numbers was his thing. Card reader. He watched me and my sisters take care of my mother.
Yeah, but nothing with a banana. Didn't wear a
Nothing with a
banana,
banana.
nothing silly with a banana. There's not a picture with like people holding a giant banana.
Nope.
Okay. You guys remember those pictures like when we used to do like I remember them from my childhood. I don't know what they were called, but the skinny flat cameras with the black rolls of film that kind of looked like a M almost. Pictures taken back in the day, with cigarette smoke. Like there would have been a party or cigarette smoke would have been in this picture. I believe somebody has a picture in their house of this banana or this funny man in a banana suit. It's an old picture. There's like cigarette smoke. I do want to let you know that this man is sad that whoever this is isn't getting it. Um, think you have his ashes. It's crazy. Okay. I will put this out there that if somebody over the course of this session feels like this is their person, shoot a message to Brandy, have like reach out somehow and we'll get reconnected. But um oh my God. So here's the funny thing. Like he's telling me that whoever this is has like an adult case of ADHD and won't put their phone down. So I don't know if somebody's on here not listening or somebody's distracted or somebody can't put the pieces together or having a hard time with listening comprehension. But he's talking about the person that he's trying to talk to is like a squirrel, like distracted, can't focus on anything. I think somebody might have been either on their phone or distracted while this was going on. So I'm going to make that offer. You know, if this is you and you're hearing this, don't be embarrassed. Swing back around, send a message to Brandy. I feel literally like somebody could stand up, go find a picture on the wall of this banana, and then come and bring it, like show it on the screen. So we're just going to move on. I will also say that if these pieces do line up for anybody in the future and that you're feeling like you want to start a business or quit your job or go in a different direction, I need to tell you that it's because you're feeling something from spirit, but you don't know who it is. Somebody's trying to get you out of your job because something's going to happen. There's like you're miserable. You're feeling a strong sense of intuition that you need to do something else, but I think you're stuck with like I need my benefits. I need the this. I need the that. I'm got to be miserable to make sure all of that's taken care of, where they want you to kind of throw caution to the wind because they think your husband has stuff like insurance or what have you that you can hop on and be fine with. There's something about you being controlled by fear. And interestingly, you might even be the math teacher. You might even be the person working at a school who's not wanting to be in a school and wanting to get out. So I'm just like I'm giving all that information and just relaying this because I think it's important for whoever needs to hear it. But for anybody who's needing to hear this about their own intuition, if you're feeling something and it's not going away, it's because your spirits have their foot on your neck. They're trying to move you and trying to guide you in that way. Um, and if you're somebody who's feeling like this is the last summer of being in school and I need to do something else after, please go ahead and really lean into that. Try to figure out how to do that. Okay. He is sad, but he's going away. We're not going to make that connection. I'm going to bring forth the next person. Okay. Um, the next person, I feel like this is another man. They worked with trees. I'm smelling like um sawdust, limbing trees, like and I'm getting excited. The weird thing is like when I get excited, because I'm a man who's afraid of heights. I don't like heights, but this person's showing me, I think they climbed trees. They might have been like one of those people that like climb trees and cut limbs off, but they liked being up high. If they weren't up high, this is like a lineman, like somebody who climbed up and they liked being up high. I hate it, so it's hard for me to reconcile that. Um, there's something here about somebody passing away early. I'm going to use a word, roughneck. It's like this person feels like a roughneck, like they would have drank cheap beer, they would have chewed tobacco, they would have spit tobacco. No, they would have chewed tobacco, but they might have just like swallowed it. Like, oh, um, this person is negligent. This person was responsible and contributed for their own passing. This person still has people here who are mourning them. Um, I think this person left a junior or a child that's very much like them, very rambunctious. Don't put them on a dirt bike because they might be a little bit of a klutz. He's showing me like a sleeveless shirt with like biceps. I do think he worked outside and I do think he was kind of strong. Um, a tree guy. So talk to me here. Anybody got a tree guy? Like somebody who would have gone up high, who would have gotten really excited about going up high? Somebody who would have had a love of cheap beer? Um, somebody who was certainly selfish in life? Uh, somebody who's now watching the repercussions of their actions unfold. Um, So, from where I come from, we call them rednecks. This is kind of like a redneck sort of person. This is a roughneck person. This is a person who liked going up high. Um, who has this person? I'm hearing auntie. That's a weird thing. I'm hearing auntie. So I don't know if somebody here lost a nephew.
Might be able to do a little of it. This is
What's
Jody.
that? Hi, Jody.
Um, can you hear me okay?
I can, yeah.
My father was a lineman for the utility. The part that I got lost on was the roughneck, but he liked a cheap beer. That was him. My family calls me auntie. Auntie.
Who calls you auntie?
Well, my family that's still here.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So, Jody, question for you. Um, every lineman I ever known in my entire life has been a redneck. So if I have somebody who comes
Um,
through as like a lineman for me, I'm gonna be like, oh, this is like a redneck guy. This is a guy that feels like this. He didn't chew tobacco.
no,
Okay.
no.
Well, I'm swallowing it, and that's a weird thing. Like I've never chewed tobacco, but like I know people spit it out when they do. They don't swallow it.
Yep. No, no, not tobacco.
Okay, stay with me here. There's no dirt bikes in your life right now. No
Well,
kid
there,
that has dirt bikes.
yes, my grandson.
Okay. Um, is he a klutz or is he wearing helmets or like,
He's wearing all the gear, but he's slow learning. Yeah.
okay. Did mom have the morphine, Jody?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know anybody else that would have chewed tobacco and not spit it out?
Hmm.
Like one of his friends?
I wouldn't have been a friend, but I believe my brother-in-law.
Because there's this group, like so weird. Jody, can I ask you, anybody in your family ever do pig roasts?
No, not related to that. No, I don't think it's him.
No, no, no. Hear me out on this. You know, like what a pig roast is,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
buy a big pig, have a big party, do a big barbecue, roast the pig sort of thing. Okay. So your people in spirit are like barbecuing and having like a family get together. Like it's all the smell of meat and like they're on the back deck and they're all talking, they're all watching. And from wherever they're at, they're able to watch the family. Um,
Hmm.
I wanna also ask you, Jody, I I don't want to shake my finger at you here, but the banana guy doesn't make sense to you.
No,
Okay, because it's weird because I feel
I've
like
been
these people
thinking.
are connected. Okay, like I feel like they're connected. Like they are connected. So here's what I want to do. May I ask you, Jody, are you feeling like a push to do something new?
Absolutely.
Okay, because here's where my frustration is. They're talking about a banana. It could be something else. I want to tell you who this person is, I think, Jody. Um, Jody, can I ask you, where were you when you were 27?
27. I lived in Los Angeles.
Okay. I want you to go back to where you were, like who you were working with at the time.
Okay.
Okay. And I want to ask you, did you have any relationships with anybody who would have, fit the description of that numbers guy, fuddy duddy, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? And the interesting thing that I'm getting now is like bone cancer. This my guy might have died of like bone stuff. I want to ask you too, Jody. You don't keep in touch with anybody's children from your past who you used to work with?
I keep in touch with a lot of people I used to work with, but I can't, the children aren't coming right to the top.
So Alicia's in LA. Okay. So you were in LA at 27. Okay. Um,
Well, I'm doing the math here because I'm going to be 63. When I was
yeah, see, this
27,
is
I
the thing.
had,
Like this person knows that this banana memory is in you and somebody's not grabbing it. But anyways, Jody, I want to talk to you about the pressure and the feeling of doing something new because what you're experiencing is not just a random idea. There's like a group of spirits pushing you. Um, can I ask you, does part of this have to do with moving?
no, I don't have a desire to move.
feel like there's a climate thing here, like moving to a better climate. I don't know. Like, okay, maybe it's
I
a
would
better
like to
climate where
spend a
climate.
lot part of the year in a nicer climate. And actually, at 27, I was in Maine. I was in Maine by 27.
By 27, you were in Maine. Okay. Okay. So Jody, your dad was a lineman. I need God damn it. Okay. So I need to ask somebody here about the sleeveless shirt. Jody, thank you for the lineman thing. I want you
Oh,
to stay with me here. I keep getting pushed back to a younger gentleman with a beard. He looks like a roughneck. He's got sleeveless shirt. He's got biceps, might have some cheap tattoos, cheap beer drinker. This is like a Vermont guy, New Hampshire guy. This is a younger person, though. This isn't somebody who, like, this is like, this is a younger person. Um, So I'm just going to ask everybody here. Remember how I heard auntie or auntie and Jody picked up on that? I want you to think about not necessarily a blood nephew, but like a child that might have felt like one of yours, like not necessarily like a blood aunt or an aunt by name or an uncle by name. That's what it feels like you are. This is somebody that's off to the side of you. This is somebody who's interestingly watching their entire family suffer from like neglect and abuse, drinking, all of that, and they're struggling because they're watching their loved ones in spirit suffer from the exact same thing that took them out of this world. There's a pain here, and it's like you are going to become the person that delivers the message to the family that this person's watching out. Somebody's working on like old cars or cars. All of a sudden I see the hood of a car up. Somebody in this world is working on cars, mechanic. I also have to wonder if this person left their car behind. I think somebody actually might be working on their like muscle car, something to that degree. Now Jody, all of this information that I'm giving you, give me a no or a yes. Like there's nobody's working on a muscle car. Okay. um Nobody here has lost anybody that worked with wood, that got like that was a logger, that used to get excited about being a daredevil, used to get up on shit, used to get high up. Don't get caught up in that them doing it for a job. They could have just been like, I'm a daredevil and I want to climb up on shit. I want to get up on the house. I want to get up on the barn. Um, I'm not going to be able to say goodbye to this person here. Like I can't say goodbye to him. The other one backed off. Like, okay, they're not getting it. They're not getting it. I have this person. They won't go until they are able to say they're sorry. Cheap beer redneck. Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Kelly, unmute yourself, please. Talk to Brandy. Help me out on this. I'm not running like any of this.
I don't
I'm not
know.
watching chat.
I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know. My cousin was a redneck. He just passed recently, within a year, just recent, and his mother-in-law, which was my aunt, also passed. They passed within a short amount of time of each other. He was definitely a redneck. Cheap beer. I believe he did chewing tobacco. Um, Pretty reckless. I know that there was a car in his driveway, but his family seems pretty well put together. He does have a son and some daughters, and they're doing okay for themselves. But the family is heavy drinkers. Um, and I know that the drinking is what probably caused his heart attack, which he passed from. Um, he did construction. He also was doing like a solar business, so he's up on roofs and stuff like that. But I don't know. Not everything fits. There is Halloween pictures of him in a hot dog costume, but not a banana. So that
Oh, Jesus.
a banana could have been. Um, and my daughter and I were going through pictures not too long ago, and we found a lot of Halloween pictures, but no bananas.
No banana, but a hot dog. Okay. Something certainly phallic, right? Okay. So can I ask you, Kelly, do you know of this guy wearing a black sleeveless tank top shirt with biceps?
I know he had like some cheap tattoos. I know probably I can't picture him in a black one, but a white one. Um, they always did like redneck parties and things like that at their house, and they have a party coming up for his wife in a couple weeks. Um, so I don't know if it's connected. I don't know if a bunch of people are
Oh,
connected.
Kelly, no, no, no. Hear me out on this, please. So you say like, okay, so I'm going to give you the message from this person because this person's connected to me and they have to get it off. Now, you got to understand that the process that I'm doing really here is, yes, I wish I could be connected to the family, but, but the point of this right now is him. This is for him. Okay, like this is because he's not necessarily at peace. Do you get this? Because his behavior affected the well-being of his people here. So like he's dead, he's in spirit, he's watching his people suffer from his actions. He wants to say, "Hey, I'm sorry. I caused this. I did this." But he's also watching people kind of staring down the barrel of that same gun. Do you know what I mean? Like neglecting themselves, drinking too hard. You said that they're pretty put together, but you also say that they're drinking a lot. And if they're drinking a lot, they could be staring down the barrel of that same gun.
He did have a brother who also was very reckless, and he passed away. He got in a car accident, and he ended up having a lot of issues from that. And I know the family still mourns him as well. So I don't know if that is connected as well.
Yeah, no, 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 no. Like, so here's something that I would have you do. And there's one of the reasons why we record this, Kelly. So we're kind of talking about in the future here. All right. So what I would have you do, please, is this. Once it's like just mind my socials, if you will, and you'll see I announce this episode when it's up and going. Okay, like it'll be on YouTube. You can take this YouTube file and be like, hey, go to minute 26 or whenever he starts talking about this person and send this to the family so this person can deliver the apology. Okay, because actually, hold on. Um, would you know of anybody having freckles in the family?
My daughter has freckles. Probably some of his um, grandkids might. He has grandkids. He was in his 50s, but he had grandkids, quite a few of them.
Okay. Do you know? Does he have a son that's like a mini me of him, like a clone of him?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I'm imagining that this guy has freckles, okay,
He might.
of
Yeah.
some sort.
Actually, when he was a baby, when he was younger, I can picture him with freckles.
Freckles, beauty marks, moles, what have you. Anyways, he got skin things. I need please check in with your cousin, okay? Or like this is you said this was your uncle and then like
This is my cousin's husband who passed, but also her mother passed, which was my aunt. Very close in
yep,
proximity, and that family has a lot of
so
alcoholism.
that mini me son, the mini me son is staring down the barrel that the father stared down,
Okay.
meaning that if this guy is continuously reckless, he's neglectful, he's not taking care of himself, he's over drinking, he could be very well like dead too soon, looking at his people
Okay.
and wishing that he had done something different. Okay. Um, you, Kelly, are a messenger. Okay. And what that means is like you're a proxy. You have to take this message and bring this to that family, not only for this person in spirit who's in pain, but for the family to see if they can like change the future. If that person who's drinking too much, not taking care of themselves, changes their behavior, they change the outcome, they change the future, they don't have to die too early. Okay. Um, the other fascinating thing about this is you wouldn't know if that person that you're talking, his son, you wouldn't know if any of these people are loggers.
They have their own land and they clear all the land, but that's not what they do.
Okay,
They
hold
do
on, hold on, hold on.
construction.
Okay, so he's talking about like there's something that has tire chains put on it. You know how like they put tire chains on tires in the mud or the snow? Um, something's broken and he doesn't want him to use it. Like, and again, this is going to be something for him. This is a piece of equipment. I don't know if it's a skidder. or a Mack truck, but it's something that tire chains would go on. And it's like, you want to be careful. Don't mess around with it. You get hurt. It's broken. Don't push it past its limit. That's another message for this person. So I want you to, again, I want you to bring the video to the people, send it to them, most especially this person's son. The interesting thing too, and I bet if you talk to this person's son, you would find out that he's feeling his father, smelling his father, sensing his father. His father is like trying to course correct him because whatever path he's going down is not one that's like destined. This guy doesn't have to die of another heart attack just like his dad did, but there's a sense of weirdly too, there's a message about him needing to brush his teeth. Kelly, do you know about your like
I know that my cousin who passed, he had really bad teeth. My cousin who passed, and I don't know if it was from the nicotine or
tobacco or whatever. So this is
his
very
teeth were
much
bad.
like, I think I would imagine his son's teeth is going the same way, especially if he's drinking and chewing tobacco and doing all those things. Okay. All right. You got to deliver that message, please. And that's I'm trying to like I'm trying to Kelly, like this guy's with me and I could spend like the next 90 minutes with you, but I'm not going to. This guy wants to like, do you know one of these family members has like a yard full of junk? Like junk, 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 junk.
Um,
Like old refrigerators sitting outside, shit like that. Because what I'm getting is like scrap it all, do scrap metal, like clean up your yard, sell all the scrap.
he might. I think they've cleaned up a lot recently. But I know that there was some old cars and stuff that he had that he left behind.
Yeah, clean it up. Do. Okay, so this is where he's going to let me go. This is fascinating. I'm supposed to tell you, I think they're holding on to things that have sentimental value. He's kind of like, let it go, release it. Don't hold it because you want, like, don't hold on to the old 1940 John Deere tractor because you think it's sentimental to me. If it's something that you can sell and get rid of and clean up the yard and take care of yourself, then do it. Don't hold on to things for this person. I say that and I get a big sigh of relief. I get a big sigh of relief. Okay. All right. Um, Now he's gone. Now I can go on to the next one. Thank you for that, Kelly. I want to talk to um I want to talk to somebody here who might have a young child in their family who weirdly uh is talking to an urn, or like there might be ashes of a family member in the house. The young child has lost this person and might talk to it or like say hello to it when they walk by. The young person feels like they're very how do I say, adept at like wrapping presents or doing something very good for Christmas. I also have to ask, is there a young person in a family here who's doing something for Christmas for somebody who's passed? Like, I want to make this gift for somebody in spirit. um I want to tell you what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like a fatherly energy come through, wanting to talk to like a young daughter, young child, somebody who would have like a daddy's girl or somebody who would have lost their father. Uh Somebody's struggling with like trying to explain death to a young person because this person is like having a really hard time with it. There might have been like a closet case of like drugs involved here, like somebody who was on drugs but hid it really well and might have either passed away or gotten sick from it, because now the like it's very hard to hide that they passed from this, but then like either the young kid or somebody in their life is like struggling not only with the death but with the fact that the person they looked up to had issues that nobody knew about. So now this young child's trying to understand addiction and death and all sorts of things. Anybody got a young kid in their life like that? Like, are we walking a young child through death and addiction and talking to an urn? Mm. I'm seeing what looks like a brick fireplace almost, like a brick mantle, like somebody would have an urn or something. Like on a brick mantle, there might be house plants around it. Um, Feeling a very young child like cry over losing like a father, but also weirdly having to understand that the father kept things hidden while they were alive. What is this? Anybody got this? Okay. So I'm going to do something that I don't normally do here, but I'm hearing a name in my head and I'm looking at a square. So I want to ask Joanne with the glasses, the dark glasses. Hi, Joanne with the dark glasses. If you could take yourself off mute.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Does this story sound familiar to you?
Um, not that much. I mean, certain pieces, but that's it. Not all of it. No.
You don't have a 7-year-old in your life, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. Joanne, it's weird because I'm like looking at you, I'm feeling you, but I'm also feeling like you have to deliver this message to somebody. So you don't know of anybody who's got a young person in their life who's trying to explore the idea of death and spirit, talking to an urn, drug addiction.
No.
The weird thing is you might and you not might not know it.
Oh, okay.
Like you might have like a client or a friend or a coworker who has this story, and it's weird because we're recording this. If you find out in like say in the next couple weeks that you have somebody
Yeah.
in your life like this, come back to this recording and listen to it again or show your person, show your friend or whoever this is because
Okay.
um I want to okay. The young child I think likes to swim. I'm seeing beach and play toys, like beach and play toys. Um like we're getting excited for to go to the beach during the summer. Um
Would this all be
Person who's
recent though?
what's that?
Would it all be recent like right now?
Doesn't have to
Or
be. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not this
okay.
isn't necessarily. So here like I don't know, three or 4 years ago, this could have been a 7-year-old who's now 10 who now needs to hear this message. The interesting thing about this is the person who's coming through was a ladies' man. Like might have had multiple stepchildren or um giving me the sign of a leather jacket, which is kind of like a bad boy symbol to me. Like a player. Like the guy's telling me he's like a player. His daughter was very important to him. Oh, so there's that story. Like the dad, I think, was distant enough that the daughter had one idea of what dad was like, didn't know that dad was a player, didn't know that dad was into rough stuff. And then it all comes to light once he passes, and now that the daughter is struggling. The person is in ashes, and I feel like the daughter's talking to the urn. Don't get caught up on seven. You know what I mean? This could be like a 10-year-old that feels like seven, or a 5-year-old that feels like seven. There is a bad boy ladies man here who's watching his little girl suffer from what she learned about him?
No, I can't think of anything like that.
That's all right, Joanne. It doesn't have to be you. Um, it might end up being you.
Hmm.
It might end up being you. Okay. Nobody here was that 7-year-old. Nobody here was the young child who had the issues with the death and the passing. Here's another apology. Like, this person wants to apologize. Here's the overwhelming theme that I get from all of these spirits. It's like people are too caught up in the grieving process, or people aren't grieving appropriately. They're not grieving appropriately, so they're caught up in it and they're holding themselves in it. They're suffering. The quality of life is suffering because people cannot move past the sorrow, the pain, the guilt, the shame, whatever it is that's holding them there. Um, the idea that grief is a process, not a place. You got to move through it. And it feels like people are intentionally holding themselves there. Um, if anybody has like a daughter or a child in their life who's suffering from the loss of a man who would have done drugs or been reckless, that child has questions. Here's the important thing that you have to speak honestly to that child, even if they're 7. You can't lie, you can't sugarcoat, you got to tell the truth so that person knows what kind of world they're in. Um, I really, really feel the anger of the mother of this child because of, like, I think she was angry at him before he passed, angry that he did pass. His one redeeming quality, I think, was the relationship with his daughter. I see the leather jacket, bad boy imagery. You guys, think of this for me. Bad boy. Um, multiple girlfriends, multiple wives, multiple children, like a Lothario. Very, very, I say, it's almost like he's hearing his daughter talk to the urn and talk to him, and he wants to talk to her. Ah, that's such a struggle. Okay. Um, I want to ask Jen with the G. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. You got any ashes of dead people in your house?
No, I have ashes of dead animals, but not people. I'm also not currently in my house.
That's okay. Are
Okay.
there ashes of dead people? Do you have a 7-year-old that's like lost their father who's heartbroken?
No, I have a 9-year-old niece, but everyone's here and present and accountable, and nothing traumatic like that happened.
Okay. You don't work with children, do you, Jen? Like in your life?
I just left a career in children's publishing, basically, but this is not ringing a bell at all.
Yeah, somebody here has like, it's weird when I'm getting like the offshoots, the
Yeah.
this isn't like our normal everyday family. This is like somebody on the other side of it, or on the outskirts of it. And I want to connect to people here. I don't want to just leave messages for people to read in the future or to listen to in the future. But if there is a bad boy, leather jacket wearing person out there who's lost their daughter, or well, like they've moved to spirit, they've lost their daughter to here, the daughter's still here, please tell that daughter everything about that person. Now, uh, Jen, I want to just ask you, you said you left a career in children's publishing.
It was publishing adjacent, but I ran the children's program for a trade organization that served all of the independent bookstores in the country. So I was
Cool.
closely and worked in book selling. I ran a children's bookstore before that as well.
Okay, so again, just like Joanne, if this happens to be somebody from your past that you remember or somebody that you stumble upon in the future, like when I do this work, it gets really weird. Like timey-wimey shit happens. Like they might know that somebody in a week or so is going to meet somebody that needs this message. I don't know. Um, but I also just want to ask here, and this is super important. Oh my gosh. So nobody here, Jen, Joanne, nobody here has lost a bad boy to self-inflicted death wearing a leather jacket.
Not a boy.
Okay. No, you can just say no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like he wants to tell, like, I feel like it's somebody that's here and he wants to tell you that he loves you. Okay. Oh, you would be mad at hearing that. You wouldn't want to hear that from him.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello? I've been
Hi.
waving over here.
Well, your video hasn't been on. Hello.
Hello?
Hi, Sue. What's going on?
Hi. Um, my husband has a nephew who died 7 years ago. His little girl was three, 3 or 4 when it happened. He died of a drug overdose. And he'd been married once, had 3 children with 3 different people. So um I I kind of converse with him on and off. Recently, they gave me shirts of his so I could make a memory quilt. But
Okay, so Sue, can I ask you, do you remember a leather jacket?
I don't know if he had one. We didn't,
Okay.
I'm in the outskirts of the family, so we didn't.
Yeah, no, that's okay because this symbol, the symbol of the leather jacket.
He was a snazzy dresser, I can tell you that, based on the pictures I saw.
Yeah, well, that symbol is like I'm a little bit of a bad boy, like Fonzie,
Yeah,
right?
that would be
A little
him.
bit of, yeah, a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
of a bad boy. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Lothario, drug overdose, left a little girl behind. You know if they
Yep.
cremated him?
Oh, yes, they did.
Okay.
Because I
So I
know
can imagine that
the ashes were split amongst some of them. Like they have necklaces with them and that type of thing.
sure, I can imagine the little girl is talking to her dad or trying to talk to her dad. Something to that effect.
Yep. Yep. We get that sense.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. We
You
don't
would
get to see her
understand
very
the
often.
you would understand the mother of that child to be really frustrated with him, to really have not liked him when he was alive, and then got really angry when he passed.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And you'd also understand him to love her still.
Yep.
Yeah, like
Yep.
because of course, mother of the child, all of that.
Right.
Okay. And do you see how like this was all the side of the family? This isn't like the core part of the family. This is the side of the family. Okay.
Yep.
You said that you don't see the niece often or this person often.
Right.
Is there any way at all that you or your husband could deliver this message?
I can. Absolutely,
Okay.
we can. We
Some
can
people are
give
open
it
to
to
it and
his
receptive,
mom.
some people aren't. But the big part of this is just the apology. The
Yeah.
apology. Because when people are suffering because of our actions, when people are suffering because of our actions, we don't lose that when we die. We just watch them suffer, and then we're in a place of pain. And if they can find peace and move through it in a healthy, balanced way, then we're going to find that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. It also, I don't know if you know this, but it feels like there's people who were supposed to get tattoos that never did.
Um, the
Like your
sisters.
husband.
Huh,
Was your husband supposed to get a tattoo but never did?
he no, well, he got one. He got the
Somebody's supposed to get
semicolon.
tattoos
Yeah.
but never did.
Ah,
Okay.
yes, that's very possible. Mm-hmm.
So please understand this when I say this to you.
Yep.
Sue, when you bring this message to this family, you're healing them. Okay?
Yeah.
You're healing them. You're healing the person in spirit, but you're healing the person here. This has been recorded. We can bring this. You can literally take this video and send it to that mother, the family, and say, start listening at this point. There's the message. I do believe the mother would be absolutely just livid that he still loved her. Would hate to hear that message, because that makes it very hard for her to prop him up as the bad guy.
Right.
It's easy for him to be the bad guy, the evil one, blah, 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 blah. He just loves her. He still loves her. She was the best thing that ever happened to him. That is a very clear message that she needs to hear. Now, here's the interesting thing. I started this session wanting to talk about my books. Now, the wonderful thing about my life is that I fucking love it. I love my life. I love my life. I love my business. I love my partner. I love my life. I love my passion. I love my purpose. I love every day of my life. I also understand, as I love it, that that's a lottery. Not everybody gets that. Not everybody gets that. But it didn't fall into my lap. Like, none of the shit that I built has fallen into my lap. I am just committed to living the most extravagant, outrageous life. That's me. But when people are caught up with grief and pain and turmoil and they're stuck in these negative emotional loops, there's no chance for them to lead the best life. Now, I have a grandmother in spirit, and I think a lot of people need to hear this. I have a grandmother in spirit, and that grandmother suffered incredibly when she was alive, lost 2 sons, didn't grow up with a mom, lost her father, lost her husband, just suffered, suffered, suffered. I want my grandmother to be at peace. Her grandson has to be at peace. I know that by being at peace here, that brings her peace. What's really important is that I want to encourage people to get through their bullshit, their pain. So, if you wanted to ride horses as a kid, you get yourself a horse. If you wanted to write books or write music or design fashion or do whatever as a child, move through the things that are holding you back from your dream so you can actually hold a creation in your hand. Because, whether you want to write a book or not, or write an album or whatever, the things that we leave for art will change people. Like, I could die, and I know that once I'm dead, people are going to benefit from the things that I've left behind. The weird thing about writing this book is that I feel like I'm leaving a guide for my family to touch base with me once I'm dead. Like, my grandparents are going to be like in spirit. I'm going to meet them. I'm going to be a grandparent. When I'm in spirit, my grandkids could grab a hold of this book and be like, I want to talk to my grandfather, and then I'm getting them from this side to be more spiritual in that way. But I really want to encourage people to find their best life, to find the thing that makes them feel alive, because there's too much sorrow, there's too much pain, there's too much grief, there's too much trauma. We're not processing it correctly, and a lot of us are just stuck in those modes. Unfortunately, the niece's daughter's ex-wife, Sue, you following me on this? Like,
Yep.
bitter, angry, jaded, judgy, bitchy, all of those things based on things that have happened to her, based on her inability to process them in a healthy way, whether that's a lack of resources or a lack of intention, it doesn't matter. But if she stays in that bitterness, if she stays in that pattern, then she's going to lead her whole life like that. She's going to die and look back on her life and go, what did I waste? What did I waste? What did I waste? So if we can pass that message and she moves through her healing and she leads the best life, one of the things that I need to bring up to everybody here is that, like, one of the words, it's a kind of a buzzword. I mean, everybody knows the word witch. What is a witch, right? What is a sorcerer? What is a wizard? What is somebody like that? Well, classically we see them as like making spells and doing things to create the best life. Okay, that's all well and good, and there's a lot to be said for that. But if people want to lead their best life, they have to check in with their belief system. I'm going to give you all an example. Imagine a woman who's being mistreated by a man That woman could have two sets of belief systems. She could believe that that's unfair and she responds to that, or she could believe some bullshit like women deserve it or women need to take a back seat. Like there's a lot of bullshit that religion teaches women. So based on that woman's belief system, she's going to respond accordingly and she's going to create the life. That's like manifestation 101. If you accept that treatment, well, that's the life you're going to create. If you reject that treatment, that's the life you create, and that's your belief system. Every single person here, I think, wants something more in their life. I have to ask, what is the belief system that's holding them back from achieving it? That I can't succeed, romance isn't possible, healthy relationships aren't possible. Okay. Okay. I need everybody's help now because um I need somebody who can Google for me.
Mm-hmm.
Who's somebody who's like, Sue, you're on a phone, right? Sue, do this for
Yep.
me. You're on a phone. Okay.
Yep.
Can you or your husband pop open a laptop or Google for me?
Sure. What do you want?
Okay. Do you know the name Virginia Woolf?
Yep.
Okay. Can you see if Virginia Woolf won a Pulitzer Prize?
On it.
Thank you. As they're looking this up, I want to explain to everybody here what's happening. So I don't get names, I get impressions and sensations and feelings and descriptions. All of a sudden, I had like what felt like a librarian hit me, and then I felt Pulitzer Prize, and then I heard Virginia Woolf. Here's a weird thing that's happening, you guys. I need to know if anybody here talks to, venerates, or works with an author in spirit who might have won a Pulitzer Prize. She did not win a prize. Thank you, Sue.
Huh?
She did not.
Was
No, she
Virginia
did
Woolf
not.
even an author?
The award was created 21 years after she passed.
The award was created 21 years after she passed, Virginia Woolf.
It was Virginia Woolf an author.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Very
Yep.
much so. And a good one.
She was. Okay.
Yep.
Again, I'm not going to get stuck on the name there because it could be something else. I want to talk to anybody here who works with, has a signed first edition or something of maybe an author, a woman author who would have won a Pulitzer. Anybody here have that?
Thinking Toni Morrison, maybe.
Oh, maybe Toni Morrison.
Could
She's the
be.
Pulitzer
I don't
Prize.
like. I don't know who Virginia Woolf is, but like, is there like a Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Yes,
Is there like a play or a movie or something like that?
I
Anyways,
believe. Yes.
I need to talk to somebody who's working with an author or has an author's book or who wants to write or is a reader. An interesting thing is I'm feeling like an author come through, like in the way that people work with Catholic saints. This is the same way that we can work with some authors or people in spirit. Um, Anybody here have like a signed first edition of something of an author that's their favorite?
John Blay from Mary Oliver, who apparently won a Pulitzer in 1984, which is the year that I was born.
It's the writer who wrote that book won the Pulitzer Prize. Elizabeth Rodriguez. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So Elizabeth Rodriguez, the writer who wrote the book won the Pulitzer Prize. Are you talking about Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Okay. Does anybody know who the author was? Thank you for that, Elizabeth. Does anybody know who that author was? Anybody got that book? Anybody working with that author? Um, here's where the point of this is. I want to talk to anybody here who's wanting to be a writer, who's thought about being a writer, who's a reader. Edward Albee. Okay, thank you, Elizabeth, for that. Anybody here working with a Pulitzer, like, who sits down, opens up their laptop, wants to start writing, and then closes it because they can't? Who sits down and wants to write but stops and they can't? Would have read like VC Andrews back in the day. I want to just talk to anybody. Could be Jen. My favorite book is about a character named Edward. Okay. Who's
Mm,
Edward Albee. I've never heard of Edward Albee.
I am.
Jen, okay, does that author have a Pulitzer?
They have a National Book Award, which
Is
is,
that the gold symbol with like the
yeah,
regal edging?
yeah.
That's a Caldecott
Okay,
too.
okay. So Jen, can I ask you, you have a
Yeah,
signed first edition of anything?
I do. It's a book called The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate DiCamillo, who did not win the award for that book, but has won numerous awards. She is my favorite children's author. I've met her. I love her. Um, she wouldn't be my saintly author. That would be a Bronte, but it's resonating.
Okay, so it was Emily Bronte alive during Virginia Woolf? Were they
Absolutely
alive?
not. No,
No.
no.
Okay, so like this is like I'm showing my age and my lack of education. I don't know this, but
Well, I worked
my
in
point
books,
is
so.
okay, my point is, Jen, listen to me. You work in books. Do you want to write one?
Yes, and everyone in my family is telling me to.
Okay, that's all well and good, but only if you want to. Now,
I
did I describe it? Did I describe when like sit down, open up the laptop, close the
Yes,
laptop, open
yes.
up the laptop, close the laptop?
Metaphorically and sometimes literally, yes. There's an
Okay.
avoidance.
All right. Here's something that I want you to do, please. Okay. I want you to find out if Emily Bronte liked poppies.
Poppies, okay.
You know, the red poppies that are like the symbol of the Armistice Day. Wait, do you fucking have a red poppy on you?
Hmm.
Then I need you to do this, please.
Hmm.
Listen to me, please.
Hmm.
You may need to set up a shrine to Emily Bronte. Like, get a picture of her, put some things out there, light a candle to her. Here's why. Like, and Jen, this might be the fire that I need to light under your ass around this. Hear me, please, when I say this. I don't know how old you are. I'm going to tell you how old I am. I turned 47 in March. I am at the age where I cannot believe that half of 2026 is gone. Okay. We hit an age where it's like the years go by like this, right? So I'm like of an age, 47, going, okay, how much longer do I realistically have here on Earth before I die? You know, what's the a lifespan of a male, right? How much can I leave behind and do with my hands before I die? Are you feeling an existential crunch of that nature?
I quit my career because it felt empty and meaningless and have jumped back into art. Um, just jump back in, but the writing is the thing I'm avoiding because it's loaded with so much trauma from being in the industry for 20 years that I'm not feels too vulnerable at this moment.
Okay, I appreciate that. That's totally valid. Totally valid.
But
You're going to want to put an expiration date on that process, though.
heard. Okay.
Right? You know, like you don't want to be 83 on your deathbed going, well, I should have maybe, worked through it a little bit. Now, Jen, um, I want to, again, this is for all the creators because there is, I don't know if you've ever heard this quote. You know who Coolidge is? Calvin Coolidge? You know, like Calvin Coolidge? Okay.
Mhm.
So he was a president and he came from Vermont. And I'm going to see if I can find it because Jen, you must be a fan of symmetry. You must like balance, huh? Okay. The reason why I say that is because in this book, I had to make sure that every chapter started on the right hand page. I couldn't have it start on the left hand page. So if I had odd chapters, I would fill in the opposite page with like a quote of some sort. Um, and there's a quote from Calvin Coolidge that I put in this book. And basically, what it says is like, genius is overrated. Genius, everybody, there's a whole lot of geniuses out there, but the thing that makes things happen is perseverance. There's a whole lot of smart people out there, but the people who make a difference are the people who put one foot in front of the other. So, with that being said, I want you to understand something for me, Jen, here, okay? I knew that when I was going to get into this session today that I have to remind everybody what the secret to life is. There we go, Mary Oliver. There you go, Alicia, Mary Oliver. Okay, so I found a quote from Calvin Coolidge, and I'm going to read it. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Jen, unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, press on, has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. So, Jen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a spoiler review about what the secret to life is. The secret to life is always answering the question of what I would tell my child, what I would tell my best friend. For you, you've got a lot of trauma. I appreciate that. That's all valid. You're dying though. Do you get it? Like we're all dying. So if you had somebody that you loved who had talent and drive and passion, and Jen, I got to ask you, are you somebody like me who from a very early age fell in love with books and words and stories and wanted to tell stories? And okay, assume the 1,000-foot perspective of your life, become the narrator, and have the narrator guide the protagonist. So you got to create that. Like, don't wait about this. Don't be passive. Be a little bit more assertive and active in that healing so you can create something. Can I ask you, have you ever like published one of your own?
I did take a pretty intensive writing course through a reputable place, but just, I don't know, got in my own way. But I've never
Okay.
published, no.
There's no feeling like it. like you open the box and you're like, holy shit, I made this. There is no feeling like it. So when you know you're doing the thing, when you're like, wow, I feel alive, I want you to have that feeling yourself. Uh, okay, hold on one second. Jen, did you have a rough childhood?
My sister's sitting next to me and she laughed. Yes.
Okay. I want to ask you something. I don't know if you're going to remember this. All of a sudden, I'm in a scene, okay? And I want to go back to when you're a kid, okay? I want you to think of like an old vehicle. Do you know what a bench seat is?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to think about sitting in the back seat of a bench seat, a man driving, smoking cigarettes, flicking ashes. The ashes would fly like in the back window and like they'd get into our eyes and shit.
It could have been my grandfather.
Okay. Hear me out on this. The only thing that's in your way is you. Like this person's showing up for you, like showing up for you. And it's interesting because it's like, well, if you had, I also want you to like, what did he accomplish with all of his challenges? You know, and also, did Emily Bronte have a club foot? Do you know what was wrong with her?
I know that all of the Brontes had something wrong with them, whether it was like TB, mental illness, or a physical ailment. There were three of them, but I'm not exactly sure what they were, but that is something.
Well, I'm just kind of like getting this energy from her of like, well, if I wrote those books, look at
Yeah.
tuberculosis. Like I was writing when I had fucking tuberculosis. Like you got a little PTSD. All right. You know, um weird. Can I ask you, are you in Vermont?
I'm not. I'm in New Jersey right now.
Okay, so hear me out on this, and you're gonna know exactly what I'm saying. My God, I can't believe the things that I have to say sometimes. Are oh shit. Are you in a state that has legal dispensaries?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. You might just have to like find the right kind of herbal ally.
I hear you.
I'm not telling you to be a stoner. It's
No,
actually interestingly enough, Jen, what I get is like you might have like undiagnosed adult ADHD.
Sorry. Sorry to laugh. We had this conversation earlier today that I am wanting to be tested for autism.
Okay, so well, I don't know if it's the trauma. It might be contributing to it, but there might be
Yeah.
an underlying thing that is like, okay. I also want to, I'm going to give you a writer's trick, okay?
Okay.
Writer's trick. There are books that you feel like you should be writing, and then there are types of writing that you would just like to have fun doing. So I'm going to encourage you to do this. Work on the document that you want to publish, right? Like award-winning Pulitzer, what have you. And then I need you to have another document when you get bored with this one. I need you to go write some smut. Okay, like write the serious stuff, write the life stuff, and then just keep a document over here and you go write like your version of Heated Rivalry or whatever it is. Okay, so then you have that. um you've heard, Jen, this is gonna blow your mind a little bit. You've heard the idea of like a kitchen witch, right? Like
Shut
a green
up.
witch,
Yeah.
right? You've heard of
Yeah.
all that. Okay,
Yeah.
the one type of witch that I don't think you've heard of, and maybe you have, you ever heard of a word witch?
No. No.
Well, if you got a kitchen witch who's like putting magic
Yeah.
into food, and you got like the green witch who's like growing vegetables and doing herbal teas and stuff like that, you have word witches. Plant medicine can help stemming issues for sure. Hello. All right, I love it. Okay. Just find the thing that works for you. And whether it's writing or art or music, you need mindset, space, and time. Like, I've written enough that I'm writing a book on writing. When I help people do this, you need space, like your own workspace, you need the time, and you need the mindset, and all three of those need to be lined up. Okay, all three of those need to be lined up. I also want to ask, do you know, Jen, in your family you got an old apple pie recipe?
Hmm.
Yeah, you need to make it.
Okay.
Okay. uh do you know the person who has that apple pie recipe connected to the ocean, water, fish? Do they make fish?
I really wouldn't know. That's the side of my family I wasn't super close to. So it's
But you have the
possible.
recipe, you have the
Oh yeah, I
recipe.
mean
Okay,
it's oral tradition.
so
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think like you're a word witch that comes from food witches.
I
Like,
do. Our mother, our
yeah, word witch that comes from food witches. You're just not, with this, I'm not handing people pie. You know what I
right.
mean? When people are buying my book, they're affected, they're changed. Hopefully they're changed. um but I'm going to say this with love. You come from a lot of tough sons of bitches, Jen. Okay, you come from a lot of tough sons of bitches. And if you clearly knew that, none of these obstacles would be a thing for you.
Hmm. Okay.
I want you to do this for me. You're very good at empathy, right? You're skillful at empathy, feeling. Okay. I want you to feel what it's going to be like to die without leaving something here.
Every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then use that
Okay.
and do the thing that works for me. Announce it.
I'm gonna write a
So
book.
here's what happened to me. So back in February, I was like, shit, I'm gonna write this book. Okay. And then I get the idea to move our business. I moved the business. Took us 2 months to move the business, 2 or 3 months. And then I was like, shit, I have like a month to get this done because people needed to have it in their hands by June 13th. So I'm like taking all the old blogs, I'm putting them together. My right arm is crippled from the amount of computer work that I've done because I had a deadline and I had to get it out there. So maybe if you announce like, yeah, my novel's going to be done by October 12th and you start taking pre-orders for it,
Okay.
maybe you need to set that carrot up for you that you chase it. That's what works for me. Give
I did.
myself a deadline and I'm going to be held to it.
I'm finding that the hands-on more art making is being really helpful for me. And I have said to my husband, I am going to have a show in 4 years. I'm gonna have a gallery show in 4 years. But I hear the words. I hear what you're saying about words.
Yeah, whether it's again, whether it's
Yeah.
that or that, it's just
I hear it.
For anybody who would have come into this world and at a very early age wanted to be a thing, whether it was a vet or an author or this, that's when you know your soul kind of had a purpose. Not every soul has a purpose coming into earth. Some souls are just here to fuck around and find out. Really. Some souls are just here to fuck around and find out. Some of us, though, come with a purpose. Like, I'm going to go back to earth. I'm going to do a thing while I'm there. About half of us do that. I believe you're a word witch. Now, I also get the impression, Jen, that witchery and all that shit's not foreign to you.
No.
Okay. Do you understand the idea of working with ancestors?
Yes.
Okay. Take everything that you know about working with ancestors and apply it to Bronte.
Okay.
You get what I mean? Saying the little
Yeah.
prayers, lighting the candles, making the offering.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing that I would want you to do, I don't know if they make it anymore. I would have you research what tastes like a sweet cherry liqueur from back in the day and see if she liked like a little shot of some red liquid.
Okay.
And if you can get your hands on it, like if she was like a fan of grenadine and she was making herself Shirley Temples or whatever, give her a little bit of grenadine in that way. I don't get the impression that she's reincarnated. There's part of her that's still out there, being venerated by readers and people over time is going to amplify that spirit. So what we're actually talking about is your version of Florence Nightingale. If you were a nurse, this would be Florence Nightingale. Like, this is a lineage ancestor. This is somebody that you can touch base with. This is a weird one to pop into my head. Shelley? Mary
Like
Shelley?
Mary Shelley? Yeah.
Yeah.
First feminist Frankenstein? Yeah.
You ever work with her? Do you like her? Like, maybe
I
you need
don't I don't read horror, but as like a progressive woman, she is someone that I think of frequently in the writer spheres.
Well, let me just get a little specific with you. She didn't write horror. She wrote the very first science fiction, which is vastly different. Somebody in publishing should know that, right, Jen?
I'm sorry. You are correct.
No, like mess with you, mess with you, mess with you, mess with you. Anyways, the idea of like an ancestor shrine and ancestor altar, what have you, you might actually just need to fill your energy and your space up with the faces of accomplished women. There's Brandy putting us up on spotlight. A little too late. That's all right, Brandy. I didn't say it. So, anyways, Jen, hold on. You have what looks like a coffee table or a buffet of an ancestors?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it goes.
Okay.
That's where it goes. One side of your family is Catholic?
Christian. I don't know. No. Episcopalian, and then the other side's Jewish.
Episcopalian is just Catholic light.
Okay.
So just this is what I'm feeling. Do you know? Okay, so I'm seeing your shrine. I'm seeing all the pictures over here on the left. I'm seeing a picture of a woman, and I'm seeing a rosary hang off of it. Do you have somebody's rosary?
I don't, but I don't, because I don't know. My husband's Catholic, but I don't know if he has any rosaries. But
Susan B. Anthony. You know Susan B. Anthony, right? Okay. What? This is so weird. It's just the whole fucking reading took a left-hand turn. All right. This is love. I love it. I love it. It's organic. It's organic. Okay. All right. What you need to do is create a shrine of women who accomplished whatever they accomplished in the face of great adversity. Okay. Now, all the way to the left, she feels glorious. It feels like she would have done like glamour shots. So I want you to think about any sort of grandmother or person in your family who would have looked like beautiful, like done up. Okay. That's her picture. And whether it's a rosary or you have her necklace, I'm seeing her all the way over to the left, and I'm seeing that necklace or rosary hang off the edge of the picture. Do you have that?
I have it's my grandmother on my father's side. I have much of her jewelry. They're not together, but I'll put them together.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like just hang like, especially if it's pearls.
I
Hear me
have
out. If it's pearls,
I have my other grandmother's pearls. This is very confusing.
yeah, no, no, no. So like I get pearls and rosaries mixed up a little bit because I've
Okay.
got pearls. I've got rosaries made of pearls. Okay, so here's okay. I think your sister's gonna laugh when I say this, but your ancestors are telling you not to be cheap. Okay, this is what I mean. When you have to go get frames for your people,
Mhm.
right? Get the nice frames. Don't go buy like the $5 Walmart frames. Okay. Like get the nice frames. Put them in nice frames, not the chintzy plastic frames. Okay. Um, I think that would be like your first knee jerk reaction. Like, I'm just going to go buy 10 frames at Walmart for $5 a piece. Okay. Try to get a little bit nicer.
Okay.
Okay. And this is one of those things, Jen, where can I ask you? This is so weird. Jen, do you have a daily spiritual practice?
Yes, I
You
do.
do?
Yeah, it's maybe not programmed into my day, but there is definitely like a moment of intention every day.
Okay. So I want to let you know how I structured this book.
Okay.
This book starts out as a road trip. It's a road trip. So when somebody opens this book, they are told to treat it like a road trip. I write it like, I'm meeting you for a rendezvous. We're going on a trip. And then I have like these chapter breaks. We're in a diner, we're in an antique store. But after the first 11 chapters, I have a section where I ask people to do a thing. I don't know if you can read these words.
Mm-hmm.
The daily devotional. So basically, it's a moment in the day where you go to your altar, you set intention, you make an offering, you say a prayer, blah, 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 blah. That sort of thing. I think, outside of a moment of intention, I think going and looking at your ancestors, looking at your people, this is vital to understanding that their strength lives in us. Also, here's something that I want to blow your mind with. How do you know that you haven't already read a book that you wrote in a past life? You don't. Like, I'm at the place where, like, okay, I can only do so much before I'm dead. Like, spoiler alert, you know what my next project is? Because I'm a crazy man. I'm releasing an album. Like, I'm gonna put an album out. Like, why not? Right? I feel like there's a really good chance that I could come back to Earth in another 50 to 60 years and find this book and not even know that I wrote it. Do you understand that? So you don't know that you're not one of these famous club-footed, tuberculosis-ridden authors from the 1700s. You don't know that. But if you were, it feels like all of the trauma that you're carrying, that feels like a past life thing. Interesting. I bet over the course of your life, you've really struggled with feeling good enough. Hmm. Why? Because Mary Shelley didn't understand that she was good enough until she was dead and saw everybody love her book. Anyways, girl, you got baggage. Why don't you put it into some words, right? Why don't you put it into some documents and write it out? Um, but whatever you're doing, especially if you're writing painful stuff, like hard stuff to process and memoir stuff or how-to stuff, make sure you have that smut document that you can lean into. So you're like, oh, I'm fucking tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore, but I have to go over here and write. I also want to tell you one of the exercises from this book I think would be good for you to do. Have you ever heard of journaling from the future? Never heard of that?
No.
Okay. It would be a good idea for you to get a journal and journal from the future.
Okay.
I know it sounds weird and counterintuitive, but if you start journaling from the future, like you said, I'm going to have a show in 4 years. Now you journal from the place of like, I just got home from my show, yada, 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 or like 6 years from now, I just released the third book in my series, something like that. It would help you. The term unrequited love? That's a pain, but you know what's worse? Unrequited talent. Girl, don't go to hell. Seriously. Like hell is regret. When people die and they're like, shit, I shouldn't have stayed in that marriage, blah, 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 blah. I should have done all the other things. That's regret. That's suffering. What if you just committed to a paragraph a day?
You can do that.
Get off Pinterest. Is it Pinterest? What is it?
I have slowly pulling back my social media footprint, but I do spend a little bit on Instagram. Not a ton, but like
A little bit.
a little bit.
You ever heard this idea that an hour workout is only 4% of your day?
Yeah.
You could write for 15 minutes a day, and that's 1% of your day. Okay. The other thing too is we're dealing with people from different generations in a different time. Okay. I am going to risk saying this to you, Jen, that if you don't commit to this process, Emily Brontë might put her foot on your neck and make you feel like out of sorts. Because oftentimes when we're feeling like, oh, something's wrong, they're putting their foot on our neck, trying to move us, trying to push us. And then this is not outside the realm of possibility, Jen. What if you were going to channel her? The idea of like automatic writing and trance writing and all of that? Channeling? There's a lot to be said there.
Yeah.
You notice that you do zone out a lot when you're doing your art?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the same kind of like rhythmic knitting, crocheting, washing dishes that helps spirit like get through to us. So in like shamanistic cultures that have shamans, they would drum and rattle to help move the brain into that place of like being more receptive. Are you a fiction writer? This is more of a New England thing. And New Jersey feels like New England's like redheaded stepchild, sort of, right? Okay. Okay. Do you have county fairs there?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a fair?
Once. Well, a few times, yeah.
Like the Midway and the rides and like all of it?
Yeah.
Here's an idea for you. Next time they have a fair or a carnival, I want you to go and spend time at one.
Okay.
I want you to take notes about the people you see. And then I want you to write a series of interconnecting short stories from different perspectives of people at a day at a carnival.
Okay.
Like the person who's visiting, the carny who's running the rides, like, you ever watch White Lotus? So when you're watching White Lotus, there's like this sense of impending doom. Like you're just kind of waiting for it all to fall apart.
Yeah.
That really feels like there's a gift there for you.
Okay.
Like, that's such a weird idea. Now, this is what I want you to do. If you do end up writing a book of short stories from different character perspectives of all in a carnival or a fair, dedicate it to me.
Okay. You got it.
Or at least send me a free fucking copy, okay? Anyways, Jen, I do see signing parties in your future, okay? If you want them.
I do.
You do, okay. Well, girl, you live in the age of self-publishing, okay? How about this? And I know Emily Bronte would love this. You don't need a man's permission to do what you want. It's 2026. Write the goddamn book and publish the book, right? You do not, there literally does not have to be a man involved in that process whatsoever. So we kind of know where Emily Bronte is coming from then, don't we? Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are done. Thank you, Emily, for showing up.
Thank you.
Set up your shrine tomorrow, please. And sister, I know that you see all of her potential. I know that you see her working through her shadows, but I want you to be the good sister and ride her ass. Okay?
I know. I'm so glad I was here to witness this because I recognize what my job is now.
Yeah, just remember what the weird dude said. Remember.
I got
Remember what the weird dude said. All right. All my love to you. You guys who got messages for other people, deliver them. Take care of yourselves. Tomorrow, if you're going to be around, I'd love to see it. If not, all my love to you. And whether it's a book or an album or whatever it is, go do it. That's what we're here for. Okay?
Thanks,
All my love to you,
Josh.
Jen. I can't wait to read your book. I'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy.
Thanks, Josh.